Guys, and welcome back to the next part of our tarot coloring by Alexis E. Thomson. As I said in the previous part, I finished the flowers that we started in the last part exactly the way that I showed you. And yes, the page has already changed quite a bit. As you can see, I also added the background, but absolutely nothing fancy. It's just simply this Ohuhu marker. It's Prussian blue, and that's it. No shading, nothing. Just add it in. That's it. I also laid down here and here where I imagine the sky, and that's just BG3, blue gray 3. That's it. Also no shading whatsoever. Yes, you can see I colored in the leaves already. We didn't do this in the last part, but I left out these ones here so I can show you how I did them. And I also started the snake down here and here just to save us a little bit of time. But I also have the colors next to me to show you how I do them here and here. Here I just mapped out the black scales already. I will show you my reference picture that I've used. It's just a normal Python, and I will show you how I did these when we come to them. For this part, I think we will try to add one bird. Then I will color the other one again off camera. For the frame, I think I will use Collier Pearl Shine watercolors, and that's so far what I have planned for this one. I hope we can finish this page in this part. We will see. Okay, give me a second. I will bring you in and bring out my colors, and then we can start. Okay, so at first I think I want to finish up the leaves, and I already brought out my Ohuhu markers. Don't be shocked, it's a little bit more than I actually will use. I will tell you what I use, but this is my range where I choose from. And then we have some Polychromos, the black Prismacolor, and the Derwent Drawing Chinese White. Okay, so let's start with the base. I actually at first wanted to have these flowers in the background a little bit more bluish gray, but I just can't handle the blue green. I just can't handle this blue color for leaves. I don't know. It doesn't match up with my hair, with my head. So I went over it with another green and bring up the green color. But since I did this just to be consistent, I will start with this teal color. It's BG8 teal. Anyway, just so I have the same color overall. Okay, so I just base everything out here behind. Since these background parts are pretty dark with the Prussian blue, it's okay if it bleeds a little bit, it will not show up. I still have to be careful with these yellow parts, but you know, markers, alcohol markers. Okay, that's that. Then a little bit of shading with, nope, that's the wrong one. BG7 forest green, just for the dark areas. A little bit here. where it curls up. And here where the petals are throwing their shades. Here where this thing is throwing a shade. Down here. Here a little bit. And here where it goes further to the back. Okay. Then just where it's a little too harsh, I use the teal again. As kind of a mid-tone color. Okay, and then I went over with, now I have to remember, it's been a few days, this one. It's butt green, and I just go over all of it to change the color. And as you can see, it turns out as a completely different green color. I might lose a little bit of the shading now, but that's okay. I can use the forest green again to bring them back. Just go all over it. And as you can see, the green is a completely different one now. Okay, then yes, up here we lost a little bit of shadow. And in these darker areas, just bring it back in. A little bit. Okay, that's fine. Then, where are you? We take our Polychromos. In here I have deep cobalt green, permanent olive, leaf green, and light green. I will start with the darkest one. Then permanent green. I really have to think about not pressing down too hard. If you're a pretty constant Prismacolor user, you really have to remember not to press down too hard with these ones, otherwise you will not get any layering done. If you close up the tooth of the paper too early, it's gonna be rough. Okay, so next one is light green. Just in the middle, in the middle sections where I want it to be very light. And maybe blend it in a little bit. And to make the transition between light and dark, I will use leaf green. Over all. Okay, now you can see, now I will take my Chinese white, and here you can see I went a little bit over, so it bled a little bit over, but that's that's not a problem. Since there is a highlight anyway, I just go over with my Chinese white with a little bit of pressure. And ta-da! So, not an issue. Then I will see where I want my highlights to be. And just bring up a little bit of lightness up here, here, maybe in the tip over here a little bit. Okay, and the last step will be with Prismacolor Black, just for the definition in the shadow. Tiny bit. I think I will blend this out with a deep Polychromos in a second. Really, really deep in the back. Okay. Then this shadow from these thingies here. I still don't know how they're called, but it's fine. Good. And then, like I said, with the darkest, with the deep cobalt green, just over it, close gaps, close the tooth a little bit, here and there, to blend a little. Maybe a little leaf green again, because I have some streaks going on down here. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Just give me 1 second. I will color this one exactly like this one, and then we will go up here, and this will be a little bit lighter. Okay, here we are. The second leaf is colored in. Now we jump up here. And I will also base this with a little bit lighter colors. I will use the yellow-green, the absinthe, and then we will go back to bud green. Okay, so the lightest one is yellow-green, just in the for the tip and the upper parts. Or maybe let's just base it all overall. I can see that this one is actually getting a little dry. It's not good. And now we are going over all the lines. That's great. But it's okay. The frame down here will be, as I said, probably be watercolor, so we will go over it anyway. So let's also do this new leaf in a lighter color. Then we jump to absinthe. Back up here and start shading a little. Okay. Then smoothen it out with the yellow-green again. Yeah, this feels actually a little bit drier than the rest. Not too bad, but I think we are having the first dying Ohuhu for me here. Okay, and then bud green. Okay. And I think we would start with butt green over here. And absinthe a little. And smoothen everything out with yellow green again. Also a little bit up here, why not? Okay. Then I will bring in a tiny bit of vivid green, I think, just because I did it on the lower ones too. Just to keep consistent or stay consistent. Absinthe, just for this one. Okay, now I give it a second to dry and then we will go in with the Polychromos. Okay. We start with permanent green olive, since these leaves up here shouldn't be as dark as the other ones. All the crevices and dents will be a little darker, a little bit more defined. Okay, light green. Just once again overall. Here you can see why I love to use markers as base. If that would be the only thing that I would do with this light green, you would still see the tooth of the paper. It wouldn't be as even as it is right now. That's the main reason, or one of the main reasons, why I use bases with markers or Inktense or stuff, because I don't want to bother to burnish everything, and this just saves me a lot of time, and it has a more even finish at the end. Okay, I will keep the outer edge light and white. For the very light parts, very bright parts. Also up here. Okay. Then just a tiny bit of the dark Polychromos. In between, I'm just checking what I did with the other leaf down there. Okay, and the black. To white. Okay, I think I'm happy with this. Down here, on the other one, I used a little bit of Posca. I did not use the Posca on these. Oh, other, different. I used Posca down here for highlights, but these highlights came out a little too harsh for me. It wasn't the look that I wanted to have them. It was just a little too in your face. No. That's why I started just to lay down a little bit of white pencil. It's a way more, don't know if you can say it, dull and a little smoother highlight. But on the edges, I use the Posca pen down here, so I will do this up here too, because at least for the edge on this high, very light green one, it's not that obvious and it fits pretty good. Just, it's not too much, it's okay. Okay, on the stem a little, just where these leaves are very light green. Okay, yeah, that's okay. Good. Then I think we will finish up the outer parts and then we will jump to the birds. So that means the snake parts will be next, and I will put away the green stuff. We are done with everything for the leaves, and I will bring out the colors for the snake. Okay, so here are all the colors that I brought out for my snakes. For my snake, it's just one. Once again, don't be scared. I'm not sure if I used all of them. I have to wing it because I already forgot, but I didn't put them away, so I know these were the colors that I choose. And also the Polychromos over here, since we have multiple colors that I want to do, like here, there's a brownish yellow part, a black part, and a more gray whitish part. I think we will do this one here. All I did here was just to mark out these patterns with simple black. That's all, nothing else yet. Okay, so then let's say I think this in the middle was, oh, I forgot to show you my reference picture. 1 second. It's this beauty right here. That's what I've chosen. As you can see, it's a little bit of a yellowish brown, and the colors don't show up correctly on the camera, but this right here is actually pretty yellow. It's kind of like this. Maybe more like, yeah, it's somewhere between these two on this picture. And that's what I'm going for. Therefore, here you can see the pattern that I want to achieve on my snake. and that's what we are going for. Once again, it's right next to me, so in the middle I will start with melon yellow. And just lay down my base here. As always, just build up the colors. Okay, then marigold. It's a little bit more of a orangey brown color. I will not go for a hyper realistic scale coloring. Just too lazy. I will try to shade a little bit in, but like I said, if it's not hyper realistic, then so what? Then we will go with potato brown. So we will go to the more brownish section now. Just here and there. Where it's a little bit darker. Okay. Then marigold again. Hope you can see the numbers, even though I know the focus will not be there. Haven't found the settings yet. Also, I'm a little afraid that it will completely mess up the focus between. That's melon yellow again, so our base color. Then raw umber. Okay, potato brown. You see I use quite a bit of colors in some spaces. And melon yellow to blend. Okay, I think that looks good as a base. Then the parts right here, so the brighter parts, I will start with warm gray 1. Then I want it to be a little brownish. Oh, dark yellow. Did I use dark yellow here? I'm not sure. Let's start with brown gray. Since I can't remember if I used this dark yellow on the other one. Okay, then sand white. It's E280. Okay, and then the colorless blender, just to get rid of the harsh edges. And I think that's that. Then I will do the same thing as I did here, I think right here, but a little bit more on the yellowish side. So here we will use the dark yellow. Yeah, that's very dark. No, we will not use that. So warm gray 1 again. Yeah, okay. Brown gray, where are you? Here, brown gray. Okay, I think that's it already. Then Polychromos, this is burnt sienna. There's not much pencil needed. Most of it I I'm already happy with the marker in the most spaces. Okay, then we have burnt ochre. That won't show up. Great. A little bit here and there. Good. Then as the yellow color, dark Naples ochre. Then down here, light yellow ochre. I will use down here a little bit. Like I said on my reference picture, the snake is a little bit on the yellow side. But yeah, no way that I will do it hyper realistic. Then brown ochre, also for down here. Okay, then we go to the shading. No, let's just already just use walnut brown up here. And add the edges to the black scales. Okay, then we go to Cool Gray 5. We start down here. This will not do much, but a little bit. Or not at all. Okay, so we switch to lighter grays. That's Warm Gray 2. Good. And then the Prisma Black. Since it's still a deeper black and darker black than the marker itself. And just close those white spots that are left open and deepen up the bottom parts of the scales, close to the edge, close to the black lines. Okay, here. Then we will bring the Cool Gray 5 again for these down bottom parts here. Here we have a shadow from the leaf, from the petal. Up here too. And back there. Okay, and white. Now we are laying down. Oh, 1 second. Okay, sorry, phone call. Where was I? The highlighter. Okay, so I will lay down a pretty big highlight down here. I think here we can go with the Posca again. Snake scales are pretty shiny. Just to map out where I want it to be. And okay, Posca. Pretty big one. So we go over all of it. The outline a bit. here and there a little spot. And on the black ones, should we do? Oh yeah, why not? Okay, enough for this part. Oh, up here, we forgot. Good. Next one. Then once again, I will just mark out a little bit of black. I think I will go for the majority of this brown up here. So, I don't know, these ones. This one. Here. Here. And just this one, as if there was a pattern that comes from below. Yes. Okay, so we do this all over again. Let me check the time. Okay. I will do this the same way as I showed you here, just to save us a little bit time on the video. I will not do anything other than here. Okay, and here we are. We have all the snake parts, we have all the leaves now. And now I will put away my stuff and search for some colors for our birds. I think that's the most exciting part, and then we will see how it goes. Okay, so I got all my Ohuhus. I haven't decided on any Polychromos yet, because the range of the Ohuhus is already pretty big. And I will show you my reference picture real quick. These are these cuties. You see there's a lot going on. And also I took this on the tablet just to have a bigger image. Okay, let's take this to the side and we will go through the colors that I chose real quick. I have 5 Ohuhus, starting with sugarcane as the lightest one, then bud green as the next one, grass green, vivid green, and emerald green as the darkest ones. Then the yellow parts, I have barium yellow as the lightest one, pastel yellow and lemon yellow. For the orange, quince, orange and rouge orange. For the browns on their heads, I have dark yellow, potato brown, raw umber and mahogany, although I'm not sure yet if I will use this. We will see. And for the red in the beaks, I have coral pink, vermilion and geranium. These are my colors. So I would say let's start from the heads down. I will do this fellow here. Let's bring you a little bit to the center. And as you can see on the heads, they are a little brownish. Then we go to the orange, down to the yellow, and then to the green. So let's start with the lightest brownish color I have. That's dark yellow, oh, but not with the chisel tip maybe. Then just bring down here. There are white around the eye. Okay, That's a little bit of a dirty yellow. I hope that I can achieve a good base color with the marker so I don't have to do so many stuff with the pencils. Then next is potato brown. I don't lay down a solid layer with one color, just so I don't cover the whole area the same color. Looks a little weird. Let's go in a little bit more on the eye because this line was a little too harsh, too straight. It's not that straight. Then the darkest one, or the next one, is raw umber. Okay, here. Mahogany, maybe a little bit on the eye down here. Mahogany is a little bit more of a reddish brown. Now I'm really barely touching the paper with a marker. Really just very lightly with the tip. Back to dark yellow. Bring it a little down here. And maybe here. Okay, that's enough for browns right now. Then orange, since their faces are a little more orange. The lightest one again is this quince, where I still don't know how to pronounce this. Then there are a little orange on here. And I go into the browns to blend it. Okay, they're actually really orange in these parts. Then here, maybe we can bring a little yellow variation into here too. Let's just bring our darkest yellow, what would be lemon yellow. Just a little bit here. And here on the beaks. Okay. We will keep it white around the eye. Back to the orange colors. To where does it go? So the neck is already a little yellow, so I think we will go till here. And here they are also pretty yellow, orange. We'll bring it a little up, since here will be yellow again. So try to match the areas a little on both sides. Okay, let's mark this area for us. Okay, blend this a little here. Bring out a little bit of the orange from the brown. Okay, so this is the area that will be orange. I think I have never colored feathers with markers, but that's a first for me too. So then we have orange. Let's see, where are you? Bright orange. I think here, up here. Okay, here. I mean, up here you can barely see any clear feathers, but so that's good. That you don't actually have to color each and every feather. the next color that I have for this area is actually pretty red already. But that's okay. Okay, then with quints and try to make this area a little smoother. Okay, then the lemon yellow again. Let's bring it up down here a little too, since we are going to the yellow parts here anyway. You can already bring this in these areas. Okay, and like I said, the rouge orange is actually a color that I use for red, but their heads are quite red in some areas anyway, so that's good. Then let's bring in this red here. I just try to go in the direction where the feather would be, but without actually detailing any feathers. Okay, here, up here. This corner, they're a little red. Ooh, not easy, not easy. Okay, let's make him red here a little bit. Between. Okay. Then the orange again. Because these red lines are pretty harsh, I just want to smooth it out and blend it out real quick before it dries. Okay, now up here, 2. Okay, and quints again. Go into the brown areas again. Doop doop. Okay. And yellow is the last one. Yeah. Now it's pretty dark at the moment, but I think it's gonna be better when it dries. Then for the transition up here, I will take the dark yellow again. Okay, I think for now that's okay. Orange, let's bring in a little more orange. Okay, that's okay. Then we go to the yellows. Barium yellow is the lightest one we have. Okay, don't go into the wing yet. I would say till here, because the lower part of their bodies is already green. So yellow, pretty saturated to get the next colors run into each other. We want the bleeding. The pastel yellow is the next one. The yellow colors look a little bit dirty as long as they are wet. So don't worry about that. It will all be good once they are dry. A bit darker here. Then the lemon yellow again, our darkest yellow. Just to get the transition between the colors a bit better. here in the back. Okay, maybe with barium yellow a little deeper. Yeah, okay, I think that's okay. Then we go to the greens. Their bodies are not that dark green yellow. Like the wings, they are pretty dark, but the bodies are quite light. So we base this with sugar cane. And make the transition with barium yellow here a little bit. Okay. Then next we have butt green. Now we are already getting dark, so we have to make sure we are not getting too dark already. There is a little bit of yellow in between, at least, and on my picture. Okay. Sugar cane again. To blend. Barium yellow to blend up here. And a little bit here. Oops. Then, was this butt green or grass green? I don't know. Already forgot. Okay, then we take grass green now. Yeah, okay, the last one was butt green. Fine. That's fine. Okay, so grass green. Not getting too dark already, but a bit. Sugar cane again. Can we go one step deeper, at least here under the wing? That's vivid green. Yes. I think I will already stop there with this color, or with the green parts. The detailing, I will have to use a little bit of pencils here, definitely. It's just the base color, but I would stop here, just not to get it too much. Okay, so the wings. The wings are on top, I think, a little bit more light. I will not color each and every feather, so no, I'm not that crazy. I'm crazy, but not that crazy. Okay. Then butt green. We have to see, like here, this wing stops, and here, here, the next wing starts. This little bit is, I think, a little bit of the tail already. So let's try to get a little bit of separation here in. Okay, just the bigger feathers a little. As you can see, although I go a little bit around the feathers, I don't do it very carefully. Just roughly. Okay. So this will be a little darker. Yeah, that's wing 2. For me, that's wing 2. Good. Sugarcane in up above here. And bring it in a little bit since I don't want the line here to be too harsh. Good. Then grass green again. Okay, down here. Okay. Then emerald green, that's a very dark green, so here I have to be a little bit more careful. As you can see, it's very dark. As darker the colors get, the more careful I am. And you should be. A lighter color is easier to change than the dark ones. To lighten up these colors is way more difficult. But still, I'm not super careful, so I don't try to fiddle around down here forever. Always remember it's just base. Just base. Here. Darker up here. Down here a little bit. Okay, that's it. And now we are basically just going back with the colors till we are at the lightest one again. And work them all together a bit more. Okay, then this was grass green. Now we are back to bud green. We missed vivid green, I just realized, but it's okay. Okay. Maybe I will check if I have another light green that's in between bud green and sugarcane, but I think I just have absinthe and that's not so on the yellowish green side. Maybe yellow green. I have to check real quick. Sugarcane, yellow green. Yeah, yellow green could work. So here we have the yellow green. Just as a good in-between color. Okay, and where's my sugar cane? Here it is. Let's go in there. To blend. Okay, with the yellow green again. A little up here. Okay. Vivid green, because I want a little bit darker here. Their wings were bright dark at the edge, or at the outer side. Just here and there. Okay, and yellow green again. Just keep blending and blending and blending and blending. Yeah, there will be a lot more. There will be a lot work to do with pencils. Okay, sorry that I hit the microphone right now. Okay, so and the tail will be pretty dark. We said this would be tail. So that's emerald green alone right now. Okay, let's see if we bring something even more dark, like turquoise green. I think that's could be a good color. Turquoise green. Just for down here. And the tail back here. Just a little bit under. Let's go into the wing, who cares? Okay. Yeah, I think that's adding some dimension to it. Just here and there. Okay. I think I will leave it there. Rest we will do with pencils, and now we just missed the beak. And this will we will base with coral pink. They have a very pinkish, reddish beak. At least on my reference picture. No offense to those people who have these as a pet and now telling me, no, they have a, I don't know, brown beak. My reference picture says other things to me. Okay, this is vermilion. Okay. Blend it out with coral pink again. Down here. And then as the darkest one, geranium. Okay. And blend it with coral pink again. Okay, so the eye will be black. It's completely black. We will bring it to life with the highlights later on. So just color it in. It may look weird now, but it's gonna be okay. Good. Then we need some grays. Little more bluish gray, I would say. Cool gray. Cool Gray 0, Cool Gray 05, and Pigeon Blue. I haven't checked these on my swatch chart. I just go for it. That's Cool Gray 05 right here. Okay. Then we have Cool Gray 0. Now we will bring the white with the Posca later on. And as the darkest one, I have Pigeon Blue. Like I said, the very white at the end, we will bring it with Posca, I think. Just try to do a little bit of transition in between, but if not, it's also good. Can do that with pencil. Yep, I think that's okay. And the rest will be pencil, but before I put all my markers away, I will just switch to this one and just put the marker base layer down. Then I can put them all away without missing a color. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, so here we are again. The base color for the second birdie is down, and I choose a variety of Polychromos. As before, we will see if we will use all of them. When I do, I will tell you which colors there are. Also the Prismacolor black, just in case, and my Durban Chinese white. Good. So let's go. Let's start with I want to start with the red and orange parts. So I think we will go for these three. That's Pale Geranium Lake, Alizarin Crimson, and Dark Cadmium Orange. And we will see if these will show up. Let's start with the darkest one. Yeah, it shows a bit. Not much, but that's okay. I'm already pretty happy with the marker base, so we don't have to do too much with the pencils, for me at least. Just here and there. And the darkest spots. And I already saw this part is already getting pretty long, but I will do in one part anyway. If it's too long, just speed it up while watching. Then we go to the dark cadmium orange. I mean, if it's too long, then just don't watch. I'm fine with that, I understand. If it's too long, just don't watch. I mean, then you're pretty much not here anyway. So thank you very much if you made it to here. That's Dark Naples Ochre. So basically a dark yellow. Okay, then we go to the darker, to the browner areas. That's burnt ochre. Also barely showing up, but it's fine. Good. Then burnt sienna. Okay, what else do we have? Dark sepia. Okay, down here, then back to dark cadmium orange. In the back of the head a little bit. Down here, tiny bit. Okay, then we jump into the body with this orange. At this point, I don't use my reference picture anymore. I just work with my base colors. Okay, I think I want a lighter yellow. Cadmium yellow. Good, that's enough. Then to the beak, for the darkest one we have red violet. Just lay down maybe a little bit of shadow down here too. And a bit here too. Okay, then we will take pale geranium lake. And white, because we have some highlights here going on. Okay, down here. Then dark sepia again. A little bit of shading. Okay, yes, I think I like that. And then with the pale geranium lake once again. light-handed, not too heavy. Yeah, okay, I like that. Then we already go to the wing. For the darker areas, I will take helio turquoise, don't know how it's pronounced. I mean, I've heard it a lot of times, but of course now that I have to say it, I have absolutely no idea. It's fine. You know what I mean. And yes, I'm actually rushing a little bit here. Because at this point, I'm also already at the point where I want to get this done. I want to jump to the next one. And as I said, after the kitty was finished, I'm not sure if I will record the next one or if I will just color one on my own. We will see. Okay, just here and there. Okay. Good. Next, grass green. Not very obvious. Maybe in the lighter areas it will work a little better. Down here you can see it a little bit better. Okay, next one is leaf green. I think I already closed too much of the tooth of the paper because I used more pressure that I should have used. But we are getting there, no problem. Okay. And the lightest color will be light green. hope it's not wobbling too much on the camera. I still don't have my shelves to attach the stand there. Okay, yeah, I think that's okay. Then define a little bit with the black prisma, but just really little, not too much. Just on the darkest areas. Marine frame still, yes. Okay, then just let me bring in a little bit of cadmium yellow on the lightest parts. 2. Yeah, you can definitely see that I don't always color in little circles. Okay, white. Just barely where I want to be the wing the lightest, but not actually for a highlight. And here and here. Okay. Okay, I think that's enough variation for me. Of course, I forgot to bring some grays. So let's see. Wrong side, of course. Then we will take, what do we have here? Warm gray 5. Oops. Okay. here. Okay, give me a second. Okay. Then I messed up a little bit the shape of the eye, so we will correct that again. Maybe darken it here and there a little bit. What was that? Smartphone. Okay, so pro move from my side. I think it was great that I remembered to plug in my phone into the power cable with the power cable, but next time I should maybe remember also to plug in the cable to get some power through the cable to the phone, because otherwise your camera will die. Okay, lesson learned. So where have we been? I was working on the eye. So yes, we are already about half an hour later. Good job, me. Okay, so we had the eye. Now let's bring in some highlights just on the beak on the eye for now. Then we will see how it works. We can get a little bit more life back into this little birdie. Do we like that? Yeah, I think we like that. Okay, maybe on the beak up here. And here. And lighten up these gray parts a little. Whoops. There was a black line. Now it's gone. Okay. Just carefully here. Yeah. And I think that's it. And I don't think I want to go with this Posca pen into the bird itself. It shouldn't be that shiny. I'm actually quite happy with it, how it looks right now. I will leave it that way. And I will do the pencil work over here. And then we will see how much time we have left. Maybe I will show you how I do the base color for the couleur colors. And I think at that point, there's not much more that I can show you. And maybe we will call it done. Just bear with me and I will be back with a finished second bird. Okay, so now we are back. The birdies are all colored in. And I already based the frame around with a very deep gray out here and a very deep green out here, because now I want to use the Coliro Pearl Color watercolors, these ones, and I will use the peach where I based it with black, and I will use the jungle where I based it with green. And all I did up until now, I just sprayed some water on the colors, and now I will let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes to get the paints wet and all ready to be colored in. And I will just color over the bases that I just laid down. The parts down here are just the Prussian blue where I did the background with. The writing will also be colored with the peach color, and that will be it. And then we will just have to do this little piece of background and then we are done. So see you in a second. Okay, so here we are. All the frames are shiny. Hope it shows a little bit. I already added in some background up here and left it out down here so we can do this final part together. And I used pale blue, pale grayish blue, and the colorless blender. We start with the darker one, that's the pale blue. And just at the bottom of each of these forms, of these cloud forms, I add the darker blue. Doesn't have to be very careful. It will all be blended later on. Just so till to the edge, so we have a contrast between these twos. Because we will cover the lines of the clouds up here with white Posca, and if everything is white, you need a color next to it so you don't lose your shape of the clouds. So therefore just go till the edge until you reach the line. Here too. Because otherwise you will just lose the form and the shape. If you go a little over it, it's not too bad. Like I said, we will cover it with Posca anyway. But otherwise it will just not show up as the shape you want or it has. And let me tell you, to cover it all with the gold and green watercolors, I think this part alone took me somewhere around an hour, just because I tried to keep the lines straight. Wasn't working overall, but then I cleaned it up with my ruler and just a black pigment liner, and then I just redrew some of these lines. Okay, then we take the pale grayish blue, so the next lighter color, and just go in here too, over the edges of the previous color. Here a little bit. Here. And then just blend it all together with a colorless blender. So yes, so overall, this picture, even though this second part is already pretty long, I know, but overall I would say this whole picture took me about 5 hours longer than the whole color along will be. 4 to 5 hours, I would say. So it took a while. It wasn't finished in 2 hours or 3 hours, or wherever we will land at the end. I mean the color along overall for the kitty cat, for the space cat that we did the last time, so just go back to pale blue. I think there were 7 hours for that one, and there I started to speed up at the end too. I would say this one was pretty much the same, so I just sped it up by cutting some things out, but that wasn't possible for the kitty cat since there were not so many objects that were repetitive. But yeah, overall I would say good 7 hours till this point. Okay, so we have the blue in, looks really blue. Don't worry, it will lighten up because it's very saturated now with the blue and the colorless blender. That also makes the paper look a little bit more gray. And then we will just go and cover the black lines of the clouds just to make them a little more soft. I mean, it doesn't has to be the style of this whole page alone. And since I didn't cover up any other lines, it will not appear like this painting appearance if you completely cover up the lines and then color it. So it will not have this soft look anyway. But I thought for the background it would be okay to use this technique just a little bit. And make these black lines less obvious and soften up the background a little bit, just so the birds can show up even more and pop out even more. Just quickly, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you look from further back, you will not see that much of the black lines showing through. I think this Posca is also dying. There seems to come out just some liquid, but not that much of pigment anymore. That's for me the point where I realize, okay, this pen is starting to die. At least in my experience, because at some point you will not use it anymore because it will not cover anything anymore. Okay, just here. And so, guys, we did it. We did it again. We finished another page. Let me bring you up. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, let me zoom you out. And here's my ruler where I drew the lines back in. And this is it. Here we are. We finished our next page. I'm super happy with how it turned out. I hope you like it. Thank you very much for sticking with me. We will see how long this will be at the end. Maybe we can see if the shine comes up better here. Yeah, it's all shiny, nice. And yeah, I hope you like it. Let me know if you do. And I will now take pictures and throw it over on Instagram, and I hope I will see you all in the next video that I upload. Not sure if it will be a color along or maybe a tutorial. I haven't decided yet. I have a few ideas, but you will see. And see you then all next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!